The day in the NFL yesterday was in New Orleans. The Saints beat the Steelers 31-28 to clinch home field throughout the playoffs. One of the key plays of the game came with about 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Steelers had a 4-point lead and tried a fake punt from their own 42-yard line. Roosevelt Nix needed 5 yards, but he only got 4. The Saints got the ball back and scored the game-winning touchdown. So, Shannon, did you agree with the fake punt call?
I did not. And someone needed to tell Roosevelt Nix that he needed 5 yards instead of 4 because he was celebrating like he got the first down. I'm like,
it was a bad look.
It was a horrible look, Skip.
Yeah.
Skip, I don't agree with it. And let me tell you why I don't agree with it. Because I think at that point, I thought at that point in time, Pittsburgh defense was playing well.
They were.
Block field goal, punt, the previous 3 possessions. That's what they had done to the New Orleans offense. So I felt that he breathed life back into the Saints when he didn't need to. If you thought that make them drive the long way, you're still going to get the ball back and still go back down and maybe get the field goal to tie or the touchdown to win. But I don't agree with the call at that down the distance. I thought he was pulling his Kirby Smart, Skip. But why would you give Drew Brees in that offense the ball at midfield? Because you know what's going to happen.
Well, you didn't intend to. But...
Yeah.
Skip, 4th and 1, okay, maybe. 4th and 5 is a long way. But if you want to go with it, let me ask you a question, Skip. Do you trust Nix or do you trust Big Ben, Juju, and AB? If you felt that confident you're going to go for it, I want the ball in Big Ben's hands, throwing to Antonio Brown or Juju. That's just me.
Okay, let me jump in before you go to your other points. I liked what Mike Tomlin did, even though in 2020 hindsight, because we saw that it did not work, it's easier to condemn it.
Yeah.
But I liked the message he was trying to send to his team. We are playing to win. We are going for broke in a place that almost nobody ever wins in, especially in big games, because obviously Breeze and Peyton are 5-0 in playoff games in that building. They should be undefeated this year. They lost to Fitzmagic. But the point is, it's hard to win there, as you well know. And I didn't mind that he said he had a play he really liked. And Roosevelt Nix is their sort of backup fullback. He's not even the backup. They just don't use a fullback very often. So he has carried the ball before and he weighs 250 pounds. So he liked what he saw in New Orleans, made a better play. New Orleans stopped it. So I give you that, but I couldn't condemn it because I thought it was one of those, let's see if we can pull this off kind of plays. To your point, all that makes sense to me. It did not work, and yet they still hung in there, and we'll talk about this in a minute, but it still came down to a 4th and 2 play pretty soon after that.
Think about this, Skip. As great as New Orleans is in that building, at that point in time, the Steelers had the lead. And while you say he's trying to send a message to his team, we're going for it, he's also sending a message to his defense. I don't believe in you guys because I don't want to put you guys back on the field. So I want to try to keep my offense on the field. So there are 2 messages I believe that he's sending. I just believe as well as his defense had played up until that point, make Drew Brees go 70, 80 yards as opposed to 50 yards. I didn't agree with the call at that time. It wasn't like they were going up and down the field, Skip.
Maybe I'm defending it because I like Mike Tomlin and I want to see him keep his job, and I'm not totally convinced he is. I'm pretty convinced, but now they're dangling, probably going to miss the playoffs, right?
They need help,
Yeah, I mean, they need to win and then hope Baltimore loses, or they can win and then the Titans and the Colts end on the tie. And then they get to the playoffs.
It's not like, it's true. It's not like the Pittsburgh organization to fire a head coach because they just don't do that, especially under these circumstances when they've been pretty good this year. Have they been a disappointment? Sure they have.
Well, consider they've only had 3 since 1969. There
you go. So would they fire him in the offseason? I guess I wouldn't be shocked if they did, but go ahead.
I would be shocked. But Skip, I mean, look, the Steelers, you had a 3-game lead with 6 games to play. You can't lose to Denver. You can't lose to the Raiders when you have leads. You can't lose to Chargers when you got a 16-point lead at some point in the game. That can't happen. But yesterday, Skip, I thought their defense had really played well. I thought they had done a great job. Drew Brees was slightly off a little bit. He missed some throws that he normally makes. But I just thought at that point in the game, Mike, your defense is playing well. Show them that you still have confidence in them. Punt the ball and say, hey, D, do what you've been doing the previous 3 possessions, and let's go on back to Pittsburgh with this win. I just thought he breathed life into the team.
If it had worked, would you criticize it?
Not for me, no, because I still don't like it. I don't, no, Skip. I'm criticizing because I thought they were playing well. Had they not been playing well, Skip, in a situation like what we see on that Monday night game between the Rams and the Kansas City, you can understand going for it, Skip, because nobody defense is stopping nobody.
True.
So if you get in a fourth down situation, your defense is really not going to stop them. I'm going for it. And you see the Rams do that an awful lot. They're going to try and steal a possession. But no, Skip, in this situation, I just thought they were playing well. They had the lead. It wasn't like they were down by 7. They were down by 10 points. They had the lead. So clearly, they had done something right up until that point. I just didn't like the fact that I thought it breathed life back into the Saints.
Well, clearly it did, because that happened.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I'm going to look at this game in the big picture. I told you on Friday I was going to pick a bunch of upsets, so I picked Ravens at Chargers, check. And then I picked Seahawks over Chiefs last night in Seattle, check. And I picked Pittsburgh over New Orleans in New Orleans, not check. But I will say, I thought the Steelers played great yesterday. I thought they would come in hot off beating New England, finally breaking through against the Patriots.
They did.
And I thought Pittsburgh deserved to win that game. If you want to say the coach stole it from them, you can say that. But I thought it was a shame that it came all the way down to Juju, who had a very good game playing injured. I didn't even know if he was going to play or not. But he actually caught a ball that put them in field goal position with 41 seconds left. And then he's trying to do a little too much, and he loses the foot. Wasn't even stripped. He just lost the football. And it was a shame that it ended that way.
What is 2 more yards going to do?
It doesn't do anything, but he's still a young kid. We've had him on the show, and he's just fighting his tail off trying to get an extra yard.
That's what he knows.
They didn't really know. They didn't need at that point.
Correct.
So now, after the aborted fourth down punt call, the fake punt call, let's go to what happens later in that series. It becomes 4th and 2 at the 26. And Drew Brees throws it to his guy, Michael Thomas, who had a very big game for the first time in a couple of games yesterday. And Joe Hayden was called for pass interference, and I thought it was ticky-tack at best. I couldn't see it. I didn't think he slingshotted himself by reaching around. I just thought he played it straight up and got a hand into the ball.
I think they called it before, Skip, because if you look, he snatches him down. He almost pulls him down. So I think that's what they called first.
They didn't call holding. They called pass interference.
That's what they should have called, because look what he does. He grabs him by his shoulder pads and he jerks him down.
No, I don't see a jerk down. I just saw him fighting across the top to get to the football. I didn't see him impede him. I didn't see a slingshot where he pulled from behind to throw himself. I just didn't see that. And then if we can go to the other one that happened in the first quarter.
No, I don't agree with that one. I definitely don't
can we
tomorrow.
see the one in the first quarter? It was just, this is the one in the first quarter is 4th down. This is 4th and 1. So this is for all the, he's just throwing for all the marbles. And that's the most phantom. I immediately tweeted, that's the worst pass interference call I've seen all year.
Skip, that's the NBA call. You know how they get the
like
rebound? They get the rebound. The guy, he pushed him in the back. That's what Kamara did.
I mean, this is so bad. And remember, it's 3-0 Pittsburgh right now, and all of a sudden it's going to be 7-3 Saints, right? So those were two horrible calls. Come on.
Yeah.
Really? A game of this magnitude? You're going to give the home team 7 points, which did they not play in the end of the game? Yeah, that was a big 7 points you gave them. So, in the end, I don't know that I've ever seen Ben play better than that. I don't know that I've ever seen Antonio Brown play better than that. Did they not make big play after big play? Against a defense that's been really hot lately? Because I know the Saints have struggled on offense, but they haven't struggled on defense through the stretch, right?
Well, this is the kind of connection that we're used to seeing from Big Ben and AB. Now, he does have a bunch of touchdown catches this year, but the connection, and maybe it has to do with the emergence of Juju. Skip, I mean, Juju is coming on strong. I mean, he had 95 catches, I think 94, 95 catches going into the game. So clearly, teams are making a conscious effort to take away AB, and Big Ben is like, I got no problem. Juju, do this. So, and yesterday, of the 33 completions being had, 25 of them went to those 2 guys. So basically, they're saying, look, they had AB doubled a lot of the day.
I thought they had him doubled the whole day. It's like what we were saying about Amari. It was classic, and I know these two have gone back and forth at each other, Ben and AB, all year. When push came to shove, Ben just said, I'm looking for 84, and I'm going to throw it where I think he might get it in double coverage, and he kept getting it in double coverage.
Skip, I'm going to say something that might be very unpopular. But I believe watching Marcus Lattimore play, and I watched him a lot last year, and he was Defensive Rookie of the Year. Skip, he rested on his laurels. He let the press, and he let everybody tell him how great he was. He's not the same guy that he was last year. There's no way you played that well as a rookie.
Yep.
That you come back and look this bad, because you're like, oh, man, whomever played next to him. But he's as bad as the other guys. They have no problem throwing the ball. If you're that guy, teams should fear throwing the ball in your direction, and they don't. They have no problem throwing the ball at Marcus Lattimore.
Well, they didn't yesterday.
I mean, Marshawn, excuse me, Marshawn Lattimore. He's not the same guy, and he should be better because you're Defensive Player of the Year, but I'm not seeing that same dog. I'm not seeing that same guy that I saw last year. They need to correct that. I'm telling you, Skip, you get into the playoffs, and Drew has a slightly off day because he was spectacular again, and that's the thing. 27 of 39, 326, touchdown. Man.
So are you saying that the New Orleans Saints, now invincible with home field all the way to the playoffs, are invincible? Are you saying they are invincible?
Yes.
I'd love to hear that because...
Not to y'all, though.
I could make a case that my Dallas Cowboys beat them 13-10. They could go right in there and they could march in on the Saints, right?
But here's the thing. Do you believe in that building, you're going to probably have to get to 27, 28 points. Do you believe your team can get to that number?
Yes, I do. Or my team can shorten the game like they did at Dallas.
Yeah.
They can play more 13-10-ish if they have to. I like my team in that matchup because they would have the blueprint and the confidence.
Unfortunately, you won't get there.
Well, how do you know we won't?
Because you're Duke freshmen. One and done.
Yep.
We don't have to bring
So
up
we'll
the
beat
playoff
Seattle first, and then I don't know how it would fall out.
You're not going to beat Seattle. You beat Seattle, then you're going on the road to New Orleans.
Okay, would that be next? I'm not sure.
Yes.
But if it is,
It would be,
we got this.
You're going home.
We got this.
You're going home.
the Saints are 6-1 at home this season.
Yeah, I know.
They've won the
Cooking.
last 6
Yep.
straight.
Cooking.
And Drew Brees and Sean Payton have never lost a playoff game together. 5-0 there.
Quite the record.
And so you believe Coach Clapp.
I don't, but I
And-
told you
and-
we overcome him. We win in spite of. He gets
Stop
to go
it.
along for a great ride
Stop
thanks
it.
to my quarterback and my running back and my defense on occasion.
No. Skip. Right now, this is a defensive-based football team. This is a defensive-based football team.
Really?
Yes.
And they're 26th in the NFL on third downs allowed.
What are they in no. I don't care nothing about no first down. What are they in points allowed?
Fourth.
What do you score? Where are you in scoring?
All I know is we outscored Drew Brees 13-10 on a fateful Thursday night at Jerry World.
Think
Am I
about
right?
it.
13-10.
Your top
10. Drew Brees went 3 for 11 on third down against my team.
Like you asked me.
Yeah.
You feel good about this?
Yeah,
You're
I do.
You're top 5 in
I
time
do.
of possession,
I
and
like
you're
it.
26th, 27th in scoring points.
I like
You
it.
feel good about that?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
I want to know how you feel about the Patriots because they are AFC